She owned the tallest building in the city, yet felt more alone than anyone inside it. He swept the floors in silence, hiding a past no one cared to ask about. But when her world collapsed in a single night, the janitor everyone ignored became the only person who could save her and her heart. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more emotional stories on Black Inside 2.0. The city glittered beneath the glass windows like a field of scattered stars, but to Elena Ward it looked dim and distant. She sat alone in her executive office, shoulders tense, heart heavy, eyes fixed on the glowing red alert across her computer screen. System failure, critical breach detected. Her empire, the tech company she built from nothing, was crumbling. Shareholders were calling, investors were panicking, rumors were spreading, and tomorrow, the world would know. Elena swallowed hard, her perfectly steady reputation cracking for the first time in her life. She had spent years proving she was strong, brilliant, unstoppable. But at that moment, she felt fragile enough to break. Down the hallway, pushing a cleaning cart and humming softly, was Jamal Rivers, the night janitor. Most people didn't look twice at him, except to hand him their trash. But Jamal didn't mind. He had one purpose that fueled him every morning and every night. His daughter, Mila, 7 years old, bright, joyful, dreaming of becoming an astronaut. After losing his wife to illness, Jamal worked 2 jobs, slept little, and loved his daughter with everything he had. He never complained, he never asked for help. He simply kept going. Tonight, though, he noticed something different. The office, usually cold and quiet at night, felt heavy, tense, full of unshed emotion. Then he saw it, Elena, sitting motionless, her hand pressed against her forehead, breathing unevenly. He hesitated. Janitors weren't supposed to intrude. They were supposed to stay invisible, but something in her expression reminded him of nights when grief nearly swallowed him whole. So he stepped closer. "Excuse me, are you all right?" he asked gently. Elena looked up, startled. No one ever approached her so softly. Executives spoke to her with fear, competitors with envy, reporters with hunger, but this voice had warmth. She tried to answer, but her throat tightened. "Everything is falling apart." Jamal glanced at the screen. Lines of code, system architecture, emergency alerts. Something flickered in his eyes. "Elena, may I?" he said, motioning to the computer. She blinked in confusion. You understand this?" He nodded slowly. "I studied software engineering before I had to leave school. Life changed. But I still remember more than people think." For a moment, she simply stared, not at a janitor, but at a man with depth, history, and untold brilliance. He leaned in, scanning the data. His brows pulled together in concentration. Then he spoke with certainty. "This isn't a failure. Someone triggered this on purpose." Elena's breath stopped. "You mean, someone inside the company?" Jamal finished. Her pulse raced. "Betrayal, sabotage, collapse. How do you know?" She whispered. "Because the breach isn't external," Jamal said calmly. "It's disguised. Someone wanted it to look like a system crash, but they made a mistake. I can trace it." Elena felt something she hadn't felt in days. "Hope, can you fix it?" she asked. Jamal looked at her, truly looked, and saw exhaustion, fear, and a loneliness he recognized too well. "Yes," he said softly, "but you have to trust me." It was such a simple sentence, yet it shook her. No one ever asked her for trust. They demanded power, favors, money, connections. But this man, wearing gloves and a work badge, asked only for belief. And she gave it. He began working, hands moving confidently across the keyboard, identifying hidden lines of altered code. Elena watched, stunned, realizing that the man everyone overlooked was the most capable person in the room, maybe the entire building. Minutes passed, then an hour, then, system restored, threat neutralized. Elena gasped. "You saved the company," she said, voice trembling. Jamal shook his head. "No, I just revealed the truth. Someone tried to take everything from you." Her eyes filled, not with weakness but with relief. "Why would you help me?" she whispered. Jamal smiled gently. "Because once, someone helped me when I had nothing. And because, no one deserves to face the night alone." Those words sank into her heart. For the first time in years, she didn't feel alone. And that was the beginning. The beginning of a connection neither expected. The beginning of a partnership built not on status, but humanity. The beginning of a slow, unfolding love story that would change both their lives. After the system was restored, Elena leaned back in her chair, feeling her heartbeat slowly return to normal. The office lights reflected softly against the glass walls, and the city outside glowed like a calm ocean of stars. Jamal removed his gloves and stepped back, unsure if he should remain or leave. He never wanted to overstep, but Elena surprised him. "Would you sit for a moment?" she asked, her voice steady but gentle. He hesitated, then nodded. He sat across from her, not like employee and employer, but like two human beings sharing a rare moment of honesty. "How did you learn all of this?" she asked. Jamal clasped his hands together slowly. "I was studying engineering when Mila's mother became ill. I had to leave school and work full-time to take care of her, and then, after I lost her, I never went back." Elena listened, something softening inside her. "Not pity, respect, and your daughter?" she asked. His eyes brightened instantly. "She's my world. She loves science and space. I'm just trying to make life steady enough so she can dream without limits." Elena felt something warm grow in her chest. "You speak about her with so much love." "She saved me," Jamal replied, "even when I felt like everything was gone." Elena fell silent. Those words mirrored her thoughts in a way she never expected, because even with wealth, success, influence, she felt like she had lost herself along the way. For the first time in years, she smiled, not the polished, public smile, but a real one. "Thank you, Jamal," she said softly. "You didn't just save the company tonight. You helped me breathe again." He shook his head, humbled. "You already had the strength. You just needed someone to remind you." A moment passed, a quiet, gentle moment neither rushed. Then Elena stood. "Come back tomorrow. There's more I'd like to discuss." Jamal blinked, surprised. "With me? With the man who saved my company?" she said with warmth. "Yes." As he left, Elena felt something she hadn't for a long time. Anticipation, a bond that grew unexpectedly. The next morning, the office buzzed with nervous energy. Rumors of system alerts swirled, but Elena walked through the building with renewed confidence. When Jamal arrived, wearing his work uniform, people barely noticed him, just like always. But Elena did. She approached him personally. "Would you join me in the conference room?" she asked. Gasps rippled quietly among staff. Inside the room, Elena slid a folder toward him. "I had HR pull your file," she admitted. "Not to judge you, just to understand why a man with your skill works here unnoticed." Jamal looked down, unsure. "You deserve better," she said. "So here's my offer." He opened the folder. A new position, a real salary, training, path for advancement, and a schedule that allowed him to take Mila to school every morning. His throat tightened. "Elena, I don't know what to say." "You already said it," she replied softly. "Last night, when you reminded me no one deserves to face the night alone." Emotion swelled in his chest, but before he could speak, her assistant barged in. "Elena, the board is demanding answers." "They're waiting." Elena straightened, inhaling deeply. "Jamal, come with me." "With you?" he asked. "You're the reason the truth was uncovered. You belong in that room." The boardroom was filled with polished shoes, expensive watches, and doubtful eyes. They questioned her leadership, her decisions, her capability. Then Elena stepped aside and let Jamal speak. Calmly, clearly, confidently, he explained how the breach was internal sabotage. He presented evidence, he traced the source, and when he finished, the room was silent. Finally, one board member asked, "And how did you discover this?" Jamal answered simply, "I cared enough to look." Those words struck deeper than any technical explanation ever could. The saboteur was exposed. Elena was vindicated, but more importantly, everyone finally saw Jamal. After the meeting, Elena walked him to the elevator. "You changed everything," she said. "You gave me a chance," he replied. Their eyes met, longer this time. Warmer, something unspoken passed between them. Not rushed, not dramatic, just real, love that lifted them both. Weeks passed. Jamal settled into his new role, learning, contributing, growing. Elena found herself seeking his perspective, not just for work, but for life. They shared coffee breaks, laughed in hallways, talked about dreams, fears, past and future. One evening, as they wrapped up a project, Jamal glanced at the time. "I have to pick up Mila from her after-school program," he said apologetically. Elena hesitated, then asked softly, "May I come meet her?" Jamal blinked in surprise, but nodded. At the community center, Mila came running with joy, her backpack bouncing. "Daddy," she squealed, then paused when she saw Elena. Jamal knelt. "Mila, this is my friend, Elena." Elena smiled warmly. "I've heard you like space." Mila's eyes widened. I love space. Elena knelt too, meeting her at eye level. Would you like to visit the observatory this weekend? I can arrange a private tour. Mila gasped and turned to her father for confirmation. Jamal looked at Elena, not as a billionaire or a CEO or a savior, but as a woman with kindness in her eyes. I think she would love that, he said softly. The observatory visit became the first outing of many. Slowly, gently, naturally, they became a family in the making, not because Elena needed saving, not because Jamal sought advantage, but because two hearts found understanding where the world never expected it. One night, after dinner with Mila asleep in the car, Jamal walked Elena to her door. You changed my life, she whispered. You changed mine first, he replied. A soft pause, a shared breath, and then, a tender, respectful, beautiful kiss. Not rushed, not flashy, just true. Their love didn't erase their pasts. It honored them. Their lives didn't merge instantly. They intertwined slowly. Their worlds didn't collide. They aligned, and together, they built something stronger than success. They built belonging. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay with us here on Black Inside 2.0 for more emotional stories filled with hope, dignity, and love.